I never thought a white woman in a designer dress would spit at my feet on my first day of work. But there she is, Mrs. Vanessa Caldwell, dripping in diamonds that cost more than my entire block back in West Philadelphia, standing in the marble lobby of the Grandstone Hotel like she owns not just the building, but the air we're all breathing. Her lip curls, her eyes rake over my uniform, the black slacks I ironed 3 times this morning, the white button-down I borrowed from my cousin because mine had a stain. She doesn't see a person. She sees dirt. And when I don't move fast enough out of her way, she lets a glob of saliva land right next to my scuffed work shoes. "That's where trash belongs," she says, her voice like cut glass. On the floor, I'm Naya Brooks, 23, 6 months out of a shelter, 3 weeks into sobriety, and I've been spit on before by men twice her size, by life itself. But something about the way she does it, so casual, so practiced, like she's done this 100 times to 100 different people. It lights a match inside my chest. I don't flinch. I meet her eyes, cool blue, bored, entitled, and I smile. "You missed," I say softly. Her face goes red. The concierge behind the desk actually gasps. 2 bellhops freeze mid-step like they're watching a car crash in slow motion. Nobody talks back to Vanessa Caldwell. Not the manager. Not the chef. Not even her husband, apparently, who made his fortune in real estate and now spends his days pretending she doesn't exist. She steps closer. I smell her perfume, something French, something that costs more than my rent. Her breath is mint and venom. "Do you know who I am?" "Yeah," I say, heart hammering but voice steady. "You're the woman everyone's afraid of." Her eyes narrow. For just a second I see something flicker there. Surprise, maybe. Or recognition. Like she's seeing me for the first time. "And you're not?" she asks, quieter now. I've been afraid of worse. The lobby is silent. Even the fountain in the corner seems to hold its breath. She's so close now I can see the tiny lines around her mouth, the way her jaw clenches, the gold flecks in her blue eyes that make her look almost human. Almost. Then she laughs. It's not a nice sound. It's sharp and brittle, like something breaking. "You'll regret that," she whispers, and turns on her Louboutin heel. Click, click, clicking toward the elevator. But before the doors close, she looks back at me. Just once. And I swear to God, there's something in that look that isn't hate. It's curiosity. My supervisor, Carol, pulls me aside 10 minutes later. She's a tired woman with kind eyes and too many night shifts under her belt. "Naya, honey, you need to apologize." "For what?" "For existing near her, apparently." Carol sighs, rubbing her temples. "That woman has gotten 3 people fired this month. She complains to her husband. He complains to the owner, and poof, you're gone. She's untouchable." "Nobody's untouchable," I say. Carol gives me a look that's half pity, half warning. "Maybe not where you come from, but here in this world, she is." I spend the rest of my shift watching, learning. Mrs. Caldwell comes and goes like a storm. Beautiful, destructive, impossible to ignore. She snaps at the housekeepers. She sends back her lunch 3 times. She makes a waiter cry in the restaurant because he brought her sparkling water instead of still. But I also notice something else. She's alone, always alone. Her husband never appears. She sits in the hotel bar every evening at 6, drinking expensive wine, scrolling through her phone like she's waiting for a message that never comes. And when she thinks no one is looking, her face does something strange. It crumples just for a second. Then the mask snaps back on. I'm wiping down tables near her booth when she speaks without looking up. "You're still here." "I work here," I say. "I told Carol to fire you." She didn't. Vanessa finally looks at me. Really looks. And there's something in her expression I can't name. Something raw and desperate and buried so deep she probably doesn't even know it's there. "Why aren't you afraid of me?" she asks. I set down my rag. Lean against the table. Take a risk. "Because I know what it's like to pretend you're something you're not." Her hand tightens around her wine glass. For a moment, I think she might throw it at me. Instead, she whispers, "Get out of my sight." But her eyes say stay. 3 days later, she requests me. Carol delivers the news like a death sentence. "Mrs. Caldwell wants you serving her private dinner tonight. In the penthouse suite." "Why?" "Who the hell knows? Maybe she wants to torture you in private." Carol hands me a pressed uniform, nicer than the one I usually wear. "Don't screw this up, Naya. Please, I need this job." So do I. The penthouse is obscene. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, marble everywhere. Art that probably costs more than I'll make in my lifetime. And Vanessa, standing at the window in a silk dress the color of blood, holding an empty champagne flute like it's the only thing keeping her upright. She doesn't turn when I enter. Close the door, she says. I do. My pulse is a drumbeat in my ears. You intrigue me, she continues, still facing the window. Most people either grovel or avoid me entirely. You do neither, should I? Yes. She finally turns and her face is different somehow. Softer, sadder. The mask is slipping. Everyone should. I set down the tray of food she ordered but won't eat. I've watched her do this before. Order elaborate meals, move them around her plate, leave everything untouched. Why did you ask for me? I push. You could have had me fired. You still can. She moves closer. I smell wine on her breath, perfume on her skin, something else underneath. Something like loneliness. Because you looked at me like I was a person, she says quietly. Not a monster. Not a trophy. A person. You are a person, am I? Her laugh is hollow. I'm not sure anymore. The vulnerability in her voice catches me off guard. This woman who commands rooms, who destroys careers with a word, is standing in front of me shaking. Mrs. Caldwell, Vanessa. She reaches out, touches my wrist. Just her fingertips, feather light. My name is Vanessa. The touch burns. Not in a bad way. In a way that makes my breath catch, my skin heat, my brain scramble for solid ground. You should sit down. I manage. I don't want to sit. Her fingers trail up my forearm, and I forget how to breathe. I want to know why you're not afraid. I want to know what you see when you look at me. I see someone who's drowning. Her hand stops. Her eyes widen. I see someone pretending so hard to be untouchable that she forgot how to be touched. I continue, my voice barely a whisper. I see someone who's mean because being mean means nobody gets close enough to see she's breaking. A tear slides down her perfect cheek. She doesn't wipe it away. How dare you, she breathes. You asked. How dare you see me? And then, God help me, she kisses me. It's not gentle. It's desperate, hungry, like she's trying to consume something she's been starving for. Her hands fist in my shirt, pulling me closer. And I forget where I am, who she is, why this is the worst possible idea in the history of bad ideas. I forget everything except the taste of her, expensive wine and expensive lipstick, and underneath it all, something sweet and broken and real. When she pulls back, we're both shaking. I'm married, she whispers against my mouth. I know. I could ruin you. I know. Then why? The door opens. We spring apart like we've been electrocuted. A man stands in the doorway, tall, silver-haired, wearing a suit that cost more than my life. Mr. Richard Caldwell, the millionaire himself. His eyes move from Vanessa to me to Vanessa again, and he smiles. Well, he says, closing the door behind him. This is interesting. Richard Caldwell pours himself a scotch like he didn't just walk in on his wife kissing the help. My heart is trying to escape my chest. Vanessa has gone completely still beside me, her face a perfect blank mask, but I can feel her trembling. Mr. Caldwell, I start, but he holds up a hand. Naya Brooks, isn't it? Carol speaks highly of you. He settles into an armchair, crossing one leg over the other, completely at ease. Please don't let me interrupt. Vanessa finds her voice. It's cold controlled, the queen reassembling her armor. What are you doing here, Richard? I own the hotel, darling. I go where I please. He takes a slow sip of his drink, eyes moving between us with something that looks almost like amusement. Though I must say I didn't expect to find this particular scene, my wife and the newest employee. How very progressive of you, Vanessa. Richard, how long? He asked me directly, ignoring her. Sir, this is my first time serving Mrs. Caldwell privately. It was inappropriate. I apologize. Don't! His voice cuts through my panic like a blade. Don't apologize for being the first person in 5 years to make my wife feel anything. The room goes silent. Vanessa's face crumbles. Just for a second, she looks destroyed. And then she's moving, stalking toward the window, putting distance between herself and both of us. I'm lost. Completely, utterly lost, Richard leans forward. Let me tell you a story, Naya. 5 years ago, I married the most beautiful woman in Connecticut. She was ambitious, brilliant, captivating. We had an understanding. I would provide the life she wanted, and she would provide the image I needed. A perfect arrangement. Richard, stop. Vanessa's voice is broken. But somewhere along the way, he continues. My perfect wife became a ghost. She became mean, sharp, untouchable. She terrorized staff, alienated friends, built walls so high I couldn't see her anymore. He looks at Vanessa's back, and there's something almost gentle in his expression. I gave her everything except the one thing she actually needed. What's that? I ask, even though I'm not sure I want to know. Permission to be real. Vanessa makes a sound, half sob, half laugh. You don't know anything about what I need, don't I? Richard stands, moves toward her. You need someone who sees through the performance. Someone who's not afraid of you. Someone who doesn't want anything from you except you. He glances back at me. And unless I'm very mistaken, you just found that person. My brain can't process what's happening. Mr. Caldwell, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Has there? He's in front of me now, studying my face like I'm a painting he's considering purchasing. You stood up to her. You called her on her bullshit. And just now, when she kissed you, you didn't kiss her back because you want her money or her status. You kissed her back because you wanted to. Heat floods my face. I shouldn't have, but you did. He turns back to Vanessa. And that's more honest than anything in this marriage has been in years. Vanessa spins around, mascara-streaked, eyes blazing. What are you saying, Richard? That you're giving me permission to have an affair with the waitress? How magnanimous of you. I'm saying, he replies calmly, that our marriage has been a business arrangement for longer than either of us wants to admit. I'm saying I've had my own arrangements, and I'm saying that for the first time in 5 years I just saw you actually feel something. He picks up his drink, heads for the door. So yes, Vanessa, I'm giving you permission to be human, to be happy, to stop punishing everyone around you for a life you chose. He pauses at the door, looks back at me. She'll fight you, he says. She'll test you, push you away, try to make you afraid of her. That's what she does when she's scared. A sad smile. But if you can handle it, if you can see past the monster she pretends to be, you might save her life. Then he's gone. The door clicks shut. Vanessa and I stand in the enormous room, the city lights twinkling behind her like stars. And I have no idea what to say. She speaks first. You should leave. Vanessa, you should run. Run far away from me in this fucked up situation and pretend this never happened. She's crying now, really crying, shoulders shaking. I'm poison, Naya. Everyone I touch, I destroy. It's what I do. It's all I know how to do anymore. I move toward her. She steps back. Don't, she whispers. Please don't be kind to me. I don't know how to handle kind. Then learn. I close the distance between us. She's trembling, vulnerable, more beautiful than she's ever been with her makeup smeared and her walls down. I don't do relationships, she says desperately. I don't do feelings. I cup her face in my hands. She goes quiet. You don't have to do anything, I tell her, except stop lying. To me, to yourself, about what you want, what I want. Her voice breaks. I want to feel real again. I want to stop being afraid. I want someone to look at me and not see a credit card or a status symbol or a bitch who makes everyone miserable. I see you, I say, and you're terrified. And you're mean as hell, and you're so lonely it's killing you. Fresh tears spill down her cheeks. And you're human, Vanessa. You're allowed to be human. She kisses me again, slower this time, softer, like she's learning how. And when she pulls back, she whispers against my lips, stay. I stay not just that night, but the next, and the one after that. It starts carefully. Stolen moments between shifts, conversations in empty hallways, touches that linger a second too long. Vanessa fights it at first, pushes me away, then pulls me back like she's testing whether I'll run, whether I'll prove her right about being unlovable. I don't run. 2 weeks in, she shows me something she's never shown anyone. We're in her suite, our suite. Now, though, we don't call it that, and she's 3 glasses of wine deep, looser than I've ever seen her. She pulls out a worn notebook from the back of her closet, hidden behind designer shoes that still have price tags. I used to write, she says quietly, handing it to me like it might explode. Before Richard, before all of this. The notebook is filled with poetry, raw, aching, beautiful poetry about loneliness and longing and feeling invisible, about being a girl from nowhere who thought marrying money would make her somebody, only to discover it made her nobody at all. Vanessa, I breathe. These are incredible. They're pathetic. They're real. I look up at her. Why did you stop? She sits beside me close enough that our thighs touch. Because Richard said they were a hobby. Because society wives don't have hobbies, they have charity galas and tennis lessons. Because I convinced myself that being powerful meant being empty. I take her hand. She doesn't pull away anymore. You're not empty. No, she agrees, squeezing my fingers. Not when you're here. That's when I realize how deep I'm in. How much I've fallen for this complicated, damaged, beautiful woman who's learning how to be soft again. I need to tell you something, she says. About Richard. About our arrangement. You don't have to. I do. She takes a shaky breath. He has a mistress. Has for 3 years. A woman in the city. Younger, uncomplicated, everything I'm not. I knew about it. I sanctioned it. Because it meant he'd stop expecting things from me I couldn't give. My heart clenches. Vanessa. But here's the thing. She turns to face me fully, her blue eyes intense. I thought I was okay with it. I thought being numb was safer than being hurt. But then you showed up with your smart mouth and your refusal to be afraid. And you made me feel everything I'd been avoiding for 5 years. Her voice drops to a whisper. And it terrifies me. Because what we're doing, it's not just an arrangement. It's real. It is real, I confirm. And real things can break you. They can also save you. She kisses me hard, desperate, like she's trying to crawl inside my skin. We fall back on the couch, her body pressing against mine, her hands in my hair, and I forget to breathe. I want you. She gasps against my neck. God, Naya, I want you so much it scares me. Then have me. What follows is slow and intense and nothing like I've ever experienced. She's tentative at first, like she's forgotten how to be intimate without performing. But I guide her through it. Show her that vulnerability isn't weakness. That being open isn't dangerous, that I'm not going anywhere. When we're tangled together afterward, skin to skin, hearts racing, she cries, I don't know how to do this, she admits. How to be someone's someone. You just be you, I tell her, brushing hair from her face. The real you, not the monster you pretend to be. What if the real me is worse? Impossible. She laughs, a real laugh, light and surprised, and I kiss her again because I can't help it. But as we lie there, the city glittering outside, I feel something shift. A weight in the room. A presence. Vanessa feels it too. She goes rigid. Someone's watching, she whispers. I follow her gaze to the window. Across the street in the building opposite, a camera flash goes off. Vanessa sits up, face draining of color. No, my phone buzzes, then hers. Then mine again. I grab it with shaking hands. There's a text from an unknown number and attached is a photo. Us. Through the window. Clearly identifiable. Clearly intimate. The message reads, everyone's going to know what the millionaire's wife really is. Vanessa is hyperventilating. This will destroy everything. Richard's business, my reputation, your job. Oh God, Naya, they'll tear you apart. Breathe, I say, trying to stay calm even though my own heart is racing. We'll figure this out. You don't understand. She's spiraling, panicking. The board, the investors, the press, they'll make us a scandal. They'll ruin both of us. Then let them. She stares at me like I've lost my mind. Let them see, I say, taking her face in my hands. Let them know you're human, that you fell in love, that you chose yourself over their expectations. I can't, you can. You're the strongest woman I know, Vanessa. You just forgot. Her phone rings. Richard's name flashes on the screen. She answers, hands trembling. Richard. Whatever he says makes her face change. Shock first, then confusion, then something like wonder. She hangs up. What? I ask, what did he say? He said, she swallows hard. He said he's filing for divorce. That he's been planning it for months, he was just waiting for me to find a reason to want out too. Tears stream down her face. He said I should be brave enough to choose what makes me happy, Vanessa. And he said if anyone comes after you, they'll have to go through him first. I pull her into my arms, and she clings to me like I'm the only solid thing in a tilting world. I'm scared, she admits. Me too. But you're staying? I'm staying. She kisses me like it's a promise. Tomorrow the story breaks. Tomorrow the world finds out. Tomorrow everything changes, but tonight we're just us. The photo hits the news at 6 a.m. Millionaire's wife in secret affair with hotel employee. By 7 a.m. We're trending on 3 platforms. By 8 a.m. There are reporters outside the hotel. I watch it unfold from Vanessa's suite. Coffee burning cold in my hand while she sits at the window in a silk robe, looking oddly calm. "You okay?" I ask. "No." She glances back at me and there's a fierce light in her eyes. "But I will be." Her phone hasn't stopped ringing. Publicists, lawyers, former friends calling to either offer sympathy or demand explanations. She's ignored them all except one, her lawyer confirming that Richard's divorce filing is official and surprisingly generous. He's not contesting anything. He's letting her go. He really did care, Vanessa says quietly, in his own broken way. He just wanted me to be happy more than he wanted me to be his. That's love, I tell her. The real kind. She stands, moves to me, takes my hand. "What about you?" Carol called. "The hotel owner wants to meet with you. He's probably going to fire me." "I know." I squeeze her fingers. "It's okay." "It's not okay." Her voice sharpens with the old authority. "I won't let them punish you for my choices." "Our choices," I correct. "I knew what I was doing, Vanessa. I chose you. I'd choose you again." She kisses me softly, and for a moment the chaos outside doesn't matter. Then my phone rings. Unknown number, I answer. "Hello? Naya Brooks?" A woman's voice, crisp and professional. "This is Diana Morrison from The Times. I'd like to offer you a chance to tell your side of the story." Vanessa takes the phone from me, her expression turning dangerous. "This is Vanessa Caldwell," she says coolly, "and here's my side of the story. I spent 5 years being who everyone expected me to be. I was mean because I was miserable. I was cruel because I was dying inside. And then I met someone who saw through the performance and reminded me I was still human underneath." She looks at me as she speaks. "So yes, I fell in love with a woman who works at my husband's hotel. Yes, I'm getting divorced. And yes, I'm choosing to be happy instead of perfect." Print that, she hangs up. "Vanessa, I'm done hiding," she says fiercely. "I'm done letting other people decide who I am. If they want a scandal, I'll give them one. If they want to judge me, let them. I don't care anymore." "You're sure?" She cups my face in her hands. "You made me brave, Naya. You made me remember what it feels like to be real. I'm not going back to being a ghost. Not for anyone." By noon, Vanessa has given 3 interviews. She's honest, raw, unapologetic. She talks about loneliness in marriage, about losing herself, about finding love in unexpected places. She doesn't paint herself as a victim or me as a seductress. She just tells the truth. The internet explodes. Some people are vicious, calling her slurs, attacking me for seducing her, making it ugly. But others see it differently. This is the most human Vanessa Caldwell has ever seemed. Finally, someone choosing happiness over appearances. The waitress who made a millionaire's wife remember how to feel. By evening, Richard releases his own statement. It's brief, classy, and unexpectedly supportive. "My wife and I have decided to part ways amicably. I wish her nothing but happiness, and I respect her courage in choosing authenticity over expectation. I ask that the public extend her and Ms. Brooks the privacy and respect they deserve. It doesn't stop the media circus, but it helps." Carol calls me at 6 p.m. "The owner wants to see you. Tomorrow morning. To fire me? I don't know, honey, but Naya, whatever happens, you did something I've never seen anyone do. You stood up to her, and you made her human again. That's worth something." I spend that night in Vanessa's arms, neither of us sleeping much, just holding each other like we're the only stable thing in a spinning world. "What if this doesn't work?" she whispers in the darkness. "What if the world is too hard on us? Then we'll be hard back," I say. "Together." "Together," she repeats like she's testing the word. "I love you," I tell her. First time I've said it out loud, she goes still. Then she kisses me, deep and sure and infinite. "I love you too," she breathes. "God help me, I do." The next morning, I walk into the owner's office expecting the worst. What I find instead is Mr. Caldwell, Richard, sitting beside the owner. "Mr. Hawthorne, sit," Hawthorne says. "I sit, Ms. Brooks," he begins. "Your relationship with Mrs. Caldwell has created quite a situation." "I know. I'm sorry. However," Richard interrupts, "it's also generated more positive press for this hotel than we've had in years. People are fascinated. They're booking rooms just to see where the romance happened." I blink. "What?" Hawthorne sighs. "What he means is you're not fired. In fact, we'd like to offer you a promotion. Assistant Guest Relations Manager. Better pay, better hours, and He gives me a meaningful look. No one can accuse us of not supporting our staff's personal lives. I'm stunned. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Richard tells me, and take care of her. She's harder to handle than she looks. I know, I say, smiling. That's why I love her. He nods, stands, extends his hand. Then we understand each other. I shake it. Thank you. For everything. Thank my wife, he says. She's the one who reminded me what courage looks like. 3 months later, Vanessa and I stand in our new apartment overlooking the city. Smaller than the penthouse, cozier ours. She's writing again. Poetry that's getting published in actual journals. I'm thriving at work, learning the business, building a career. We fight sometimes. She's still sharp, still difficult, still learning how to be soft. I'm still stubborn, still calling her on her bullshit, still refusing to be afraid. But we're real. We're happy. We're us. Naya, she calls from the bedroom. Yeah? Come here. I find her at the window looking out at the city lights, wearing one of my old t-shirts and nothing else. What's up? She turns and there's that look in her eyes. The one that means trouble, the one that means love, the one that means home. Just wanted to look at you, she says. The woman who wasn't afraid. The woman who saved me. We saved each other, I correct, pulling her close. Yes, she agrees, kissing me. We did. Outside, the city glitters. Inside, we've built something real, and I wouldn't change a single moment, not the fear, not the scandal, not the fall. Because this is worth everything.